experience and a challenge. So
yeah. I'm very curious about your routine, because as I've read different pieces about you, there's the 2:30 in the morning, maybe it's 3:30 in the morning, there's the workout. But the thing I'm most intrigued by is that you take time every day to pray.
that's the most important thing. I take a day off. I take 2 days a week off from the gym now. I don't take a day off from getting on my hands and my knees and reading my prayer book and my daily devotionals and first of all, expressing the gratitude that I have for all the blessings that have been bestowed upon me. And then, of course, asking for the strength and guidance to be able to use the talents and gifts that God's given me to help others and inspire and know what right is and to do so. Be the best husband I can be, best father I can be.
How much time does it take? How much time does it take?
It's funny because as I meet people along the way and I add people to my prayers, if I see somebody in the public eye or that I read in the newspaper, somebody that's struggling, somebody that has a child that's having, health issues, stuff like that, I add them to my prayers, and I usually end up keeping them in my prayers. So it's now like, about 20 minutes of actual praying, and then, my reading and stuff like that.
Right. Do you have favorite scripture?
The daily devotional every day. I think, the idea of being good soil and bearing good fruit, where it's sprinkled, how it's used, how you absorb that information, do you really retain that information? Those are the more powerful things.
How does it inform your day?
It just puts things in perspective, I remind myself every day how fortunate I am, and how blessed I am, and how so many people are not. And to be able to just kind of, remind myself what I should be doing, how I should be doing it. To be a positive, productive member of the community and the church. It's what's keeping me going. I think if I've been put in this position for a reason, it's not to forget about where I came from. I have to utilize these talents and gifts that have been given to me to help others, to inspire others. So that's a challenge, because if you're given all these things and you don't do the right thing with them, it's not going to be good.
There is a verse in the Bible that says, to whom much has been given, much is not expected, but actually required.
Yes, of course. And you think about those talents and gifts that you were given. Somebody was given one little gift and talent, and he didn't want to take any risk. He didn't go and utilize it and get his tenfold on his investment, and he buried in the ground. And God didn't like that.
He's not impressed.
No, not at all.
It's amazing to me to be in the business you're in, and for us to be sitting here having this conversation. Does anybody ever ask you about it? Does anybody ever say, any of your colleagues say, what do you get out of it? Or does anybody ever say, I read about you doing all this Bible stuff?
Yeah. Look, I will not hide the fact that I love the Lord and that, I want to be committed to serving the Lord, but I also don't jam it down anybody's throat. But it's better to never have known God than to, deny God. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. So that being said, there are people that I'm close to that I will send devotionals to and try to encourage them. It's like with people dealing with loss, and it seems like now, as I'm 48 years old, dealing with a lot more loss now than I ever had. It seems like every other day I'm losing somebody that I know, that I'm close to. And so, when people are dealing with loss and knowing that, it could be devastating to somebody, but also what comfort and joy does it bring when you know that there is something else? There is now no more pain, no more suffering, an eternity of love and joy and all of those things. And even if you live to 150, life is still short, right? So, I don't know, it gives me comfort.
Does it make you a better parent?
I pray for the patience. It's also, too, with my kids, I want to be an example to my children. They're getting a faith-based education, but I don't force them to go to church with me. But they know that it's not even an option for me to not go to Mass or to not take my time to pray and to do those things. And hopefully they'll say, wow, well, that works for Dad, and maybe they'll get a little bit more curious and they'll slowly start to gravitate towards that.
Right.
But I got to be an example, with my work ethic, with my commitment to my faith, my commitment to my family.
Right.
And those things.
So speaking of family, I've been hearing about your dog, and if Mark Wahlberg going to have a dog, I'm not sure if I were going to write that script, it would be the dog you have.
I got the dog because my kids really wanted a dog. We've been very unsuccessful with pets.